Welcome to a quiet night with the Sphinx. Good evening or good night, and whenever you happen to be listening to this, welcome to the Giza Plateau. The sun has already set, the heat is rising off the limestone, and the desert is finally quiet. Tonight we are going to a slow place, a place where history doesn't rush you, and where it is completely okay if you fall asleep before the story is done. In fact, that is the whole point. Before we continue, if you find this kind of calm, boring history helpful for sleep, you're welcome to gently tap the like button and subscribe so you can find your way back here on another night. And if you're still awake, you can let me know in the comments where you're listening from tonight. We are looking at the Great Sphinx of Giza, but we aren't here for the loud questions. We aren't here to solve riddles or argue about hidden chambers or shout over the wind. We are here for the stone itself. We are here to listen to the geology. If your eyes are starting to feel heavy right now, that's perfectly okay. If you're lying down, feel how the surface beneath you is holding your weight, just as the bedrock of Egypt holds the weight of this massive statue. Tonight's story isn't about drama, it's about endurance. It's about a structure so heavy, so grounded that it simply waited out history. Just listen. Let the story carry you. The desert at night. Arriving at Giza. The night sky above the Giza plateau is beginning to show its deep dark hue, slowly filling with the twinkling of countless stars. The air is still, the sound of distant winds across the desert is barely noticeable. The vastness of the desert stretches out in every direction, broken only by the shapes of the pyramids on the horizon. As you rest, imagine that you are here, standing at the edge of the plateau, looking at the Great Sphinx. It is vast, quiet, and still. The silhouette of the Sphinx sits against the starry sky, the soft curve of its lion's body stretching out before you. The head is slightly tilted, watching over the desert as it has done for millennia. You are standing in the same spot that countless travelers, explorers, and archaeologists have stood in the past. But there is no rush. There are no footsteps to follow. The Sphinx doesn't move, it remains. With each breath, allow your body to relax further into the bed beneath you. Let the weight of the world drift away. Just as the Sphinx has watched the horizon for thousands of years, you can watch the peaceful desert, feeling the stillness surrounding you, letting the moment pass without haste. As you settle into this quiet, calm scene, let's gently focus on the Sphinx itself. The Great Sphinx is not just any statue, it's a fusion of two beings, a lion, powerful and regal, and a human face, wise and serene. Its body is carved from the very bedrock of the plateau. The limestone surface is weathered, etched by centuries of wind, sand, and rain. Now imagine what the Sphinx must have looked like in its prime. Standing tall against the sky, it's not just a monument of stone, it's a symbol, a figure that commands respect but also offers a sense of peace. Its eyes are vast, its nose broad and serene, though now, of course, worn and broken by the hands of time. The Sphinx is truly immense. It measures about 240 feet long from paws to tail, and its height reaches up to 66 feet. The head itself, with its noble gaze, stands about 30 feet tall. For centuries, the Sphinx has looked over the Giza plateau, an ever-present sentinel, witnessing the changes of the world, the shifting sands and the passage of time. Let the sense of its presence wash over you just as it has watched over the desert, steady, enduring and calm. It has nothing to prove, it simply is. Let us take a slow walk now, moving gently through the history of this ancient place. As the Sphinx sits in front of us, surrounded by the quiet desert, let us explore the land around it. The Giza Plateau is a vast stretch of land that has witnessed some of the most monumental human achievements. But here there's no hurry. Imagine in the far distance the great pyramids of Giza, their towering forms rising above the earth. They too are ancient, they too have seen the slow march of time. But long before the pyramids, the land beneath our feet was different. The climate was different. The Nile River, which now flows a few miles away, once stretched out further into the plateau. In those early days, the landscape would have been lush and fertile. Farmers would have worked the land, their fields of grain swaying gently in the breeze. The area around the Sphinx would have been alive with activity. Now, however, the land is quiet, the grains of sand moving slowly with the wind, drifting from one place to another. Time has softened everything. The once fertile land is now a desert, but the Sphinx remains, quietly watching. The Sphinx has seen many things in its long life, but perhaps the most fascinating period to consider is the time when it was first created. Around 2500 BCE, during Egypt's Old Kingdom, the land around the Sphinx was ruled by powerful pharaohs. These kings and queens were not just leaders of people, they were seen as living gods. It is said that the Great Sphinx was commissioned by one such pharaoh, Khafre. He was a ruler of great authority and ambition, and he ordered the creation of the Sphinx to stand guard over his tomb, which lay in the nearby pyramid. The Sphinx would have been the first thing one would see as they approached the pharaoh's final resting place. As you think of this, let the imagery slow down, allowing the ancient world to unfold around you. Picture the workers carving the massive statue from the bedrock. The tools they used were simple yet effective: copper chisels, hammers, and patience. The air was thick with dust, but the workers didn't hurry. Every stroke, every chip was deliberate and slow. The Sphinx was built as a symbol, a guardian, and a protector of the pharaoh's spirit. It was not just a statue, but a sacred figure that held the power of the pharaoh within its stone form. Siman, who exactly carved the Sphinx? Many historians believe that it was commissioned by Pharaoh Khafre, as we mentioned earlier, but there are others who suggest different theories. Some believe that the Sphinx might have been built by Khafre's father, Pharaoh Khufu, or even an earlier king. As we look upon the Sphinx tonight, it's easy to get lost in the mystery. But tonight we are not here to solve these questions. Instead, let the mystery rest, like the figure in front of us. The Sphinx does not need to have all its answers known. It simply exists, watching, waiting with the same tranquil gaze it has held for thousands of years. The theories, like the winds, come and go, but the Sphinx remains. Life around the Sphinx back in those early days would have been busy. The area was filled with workers craftsmen, priests, and visitors. It was not the quiet, empty desert that we see today. Instead, the land was filled with temples, shrines, and bustling activity. Imagine the sounds of life that once filled the air, the voices of people calling to one another, the clinking of tools, and the soft steps of workers on the sand. But all of this has faded. The noise has long since been replaced by the soft whispers of the wind drifting through the ancient stones. Now, as you lie there, imagine that world around you with the Sphinx standing still, watching over it all. The world changes, but the Sphinx remains. Let's take a moment now to gently recap the story so far. The Sphinx has been with us, silently watching over the land. It was carved from the earth itself, shaped by the hands of ancient workers who labored slowly and carefully. It was commissioned by Pharaoh Khafre and built as a symbol of protection and strength. For thousands of years, the Sphinx has stood watch over the Giza plateau, its lion's body and human face a reminder of Egypt's enduring legacy. And through it all, the Sphinx has been quiet. It hasn't rushed. It hasn't spoken. It has simply watched the world change around it. Let us now turn our attention back to the very bedrock beneath the Sphinx's paws. The limestone of the Giza plateau is not just the surface on which the statue sits. It is an ancient foundation, a quiet witness to the passage of time. Imagine the layers of rock pressed down over millennia. Each layer represents a chapter in the Earth's history, waiting for the chisels of ancient masons to reveal the statue hidden within. The stone is both soft and hard, soft enough to be carved, but hard enough to endure the winds of time. The Sphinx's body is not separate from this rock. It is part of it. It is grounded in a way that few things ever are. Even as the world shifts and changes, the Sphinx remains, a part of the earth it was carved from. Carving the Sphinx was not a quick task. It took patience, precision, and skill. The ancient masons did not rush their work. Instead, they used copper chisels, hammers, and tools made from the natural materials they had at hand. Every cut, every chip was slow. It took years to reveal the form we see today. The workers did not hurry. Instead, they took their time, trusting in the stone to reveal the shape hidden inside. Imagine the rhythm of the labor. The workers would have moved at a steady pace. There was no rush. Each strike of the chisel would have been deliberate. The workers were not anxious. They were not hurried. They were part of something larger, something that would last. As the chisels worked, slow and steady, the Sphinx gradually emerged from the rock. This was no quick creation. It was a process of patience, each layer of stone carefully shaped into the majestic figure that would stand for millennia. The laborers were not in a hurry. They knew that what they were creating would outlast them, and perhaps outlast even their children. So they took their time. Each day was another small step toward revealing the lion's body, the human face, the watchful gaze that would look out over the Giza plateau for thousands of years. The Sphinx didn't spring into being all at once. It grew slowly, over years. The body of the lion began to take shape, with its paws resting peacefully in the sand, its chest solid and steadfast. The face, at first rough and unformed, became more defined as the years passed. Each time a worker struck the stone with their copper tool, they were slowly unlocking the hidden figure beneath. Now, lying there, imagine the silence of that labor, the quiet rhythm of the chisels, the dust rising softly in the desert air, the stone being transformed into a living form from the earth itself. Every stroke was deliberate, calm. Every day the Sphinx took one step closer to what it would be for eternity, a silent watcher of history. Only we don't often think of the Sphinx as being colorful, but it wasn't always the weathered gray figure we see today. In its earliest days, the Sphinx would have been covered in vibrant colors. The Egyptians, like many ancient cultures, often used bright paints to adorn their statues, giving them life and vibrancy. Imagine the soft golden hues of yellow, the deep blues and reds, the bright whites that would have been painted onto the Sphinx's face and body. The lion's body, strong and powerful, would have gleamed in the desert sun, while its face would have looked almost lifelike, glowing with the colors of its creator's devotion. Over time, though, the colors faded. The harsh desert winds, the sand, the heat, they all wore down the once vibrant pigments, leaving behind the weathered limestone we see today. But still, the traces of those colors remain in the ancient stone. You can almost imagine what it must have looked like in its prime. A brightly painted figure standing tall and proud against the desert. The vibrant colors, now only faint memories, remind us that even the most permanent monuments were once alive with human touch. They were once full of the life and energy of those who built them. But, as with all things, the colors faded and only the stone remained. One of the most captivating aspects of the Sphinx is its hybrid form, the body of a lion and the face of a human both combined into one monument to speak to the ancient Egyptians' understanding of power, wisdom, and protection. The lion, a symbol of strength and courage, was chosen to represent the Sphinx's body. Lions were seen as noble creatures, fierce protectors of the land, but it was not just any lion. The Sphinx, as a lion, stood in quiet watch over the land, a guardian not just of the pharaoh's tomb, but of Egypt itself. The human face, though, tells a different story. The face of the Sphinx is believed to resemble Pharaoh Khafre, the ruler who commissioned the statue. The serene, almost peaceful expression on the face suggests wisdom and calm leadership. It is a face that does not rush. It is a face that understands the weight of time. Together, the lion's body and the human face represent the balance of power and wisdom, strength and grace. The Sphinx is not just a statue, but a symbol of the harmony that the ancient Egyptians sought to embody in their kings, their society, and their gods. Around the Sphinx, the people of ancient Egypt built sacred spaces. Temples and pathways stretched out from the great statue, leading to other monumental structures. These were places of worship, of offerings, of prayers to the gods. Rituals were an essential part of the life of the Sphinx. It was not simply a monument to a king, but a sacred figure that had meaning for all of Egypt. The Sphinx, as part of the larger complex, was part of a system of spiritual beliefs that revolved around death, the afterlife, and the eternal cycle of life. As you lie back now, imagine the quiet, rhythmic processions that would have passed by the Sphinx in ancient times. The scent of incense in the air, the soft murmurs of prayers being offered, offerings of food, drink, and precious items would have been placed before the statue, laid down with reverence. The Sphinx watched as these rituals unfolded, silent and unmoving, as it had for centuries. It did not speak, but it was deeply connected to the spiritual life of the land. The quiet stillness of the Sphinx was a constant in the ever-changing ebb and flow of life around it. So far we've watched as the Sphinx slowly took form, carved from the very bedrock of the Giza plateau. We've seen how it was a symbol of strength, wisdom, and protection, a guardian of the pharaoh's tomb, and a silent witness to the rituals of ancient Egypt. The colors, once bright and vibrant, have long since faded, leaving behind only the stone. The lion's body, representing power, and the human face, representing wisdom, remain as one. And through it all, the Sphinx has stood in quiet watch, surrounded by rituals and offerings, part of the spiritual life of Egypt. It is an image of quiet endurance. Time moves around it, but it does not move. It simply is. Over the centuries, as dynasties rose and fell, the Sphinx was slowly forgotten. The desert, which had once been an ally, began to reclaim the statue. Sand blew across the land, covering the paws, the chest, and even the neck of the great lion. For centuries the Sphinx slept beneath the sands, forgotten by all but the earth itself. The once great monument, carved so carefully from the stone, was nearly lost to time. Only the head, still standing proud above the sand, remained visible to the passing traveler. In the silence of the desert, the Sphinx rested, covered in its blanket of sand, safe from the eyes of the world. The world had moved on. The pyramids nearby were stripped of their casing stones. The temples were abandoned. The land had changed, but the Sphinx, quiet and unmoving, waited. As you imagine this, lying in the peace of your own space, feel the stillness. Let the desert winds drift through your mind, soft and soothing. The Sphinx has waited for so long, and it will wait for many more centuries to come. Eventually, though, the Sphinx was rediscovered. Its head, still peering out over the sands, caught the attention of explorers and travelers. It was the 18th dynasty, during the reign of Thutmose IV, when the first known efforts were made to uncover the Sphinx and restore it to its former glory. Thutmose IV, in a dream, shall believe the Sphinx had spoken to him, commanding him to remove the sand and restore its stature. With great effort, workers began to clear the sand, uncovering the stone paws and chest. It was a slow process, but one that would mark the beginning of the Sphinx's modern history. As the statue was revealed, inscriptions were added, royal texts, declarations of power, and offerings made to the ancient guardian. These inscriptions tell us much about the importance of the Sphinx in the cultural and religious life of ancient Egypt, but they also show the continuity of the monument's role as a protector, a figure that stood through centuries of change. As the centuries passed, Travelers began to come from distant lands, bringing with them stories of the Great Sphinx. It became a symbol of mystery and legend. To the Greeks, it was a creature of myth, a riddle, a figure that held secrets. The story of Oedipus and the Sphinx would be told and retold, mixing the ancient monument with the tales of gods and heroes. For the Romans, the Sphinx was a symbol of the East, a mysterious monument that stood at the heart of the ancient world. Its age and significance were not lost on those who came to see it. But for the most part, the Sphinx remained still, half buried in the sands, only occasionally appearing to those who sought it. It was both known and unknown, a monument that had endured through the ages, even as its secrets and significance slowly faded from memory. In the 19th century, the Sphinx was finally fully uncovered, a task that required years of work. Excavations revealed the full majesty of the statue, though much of its original stone casing was gone. As the Sphinx emerged from the sand, it became a symbol not just of Egypt's ancient glory, but of the endurance of time itself. Modern restorations have tried to preserve the Sphinx, though the damage caused by the elements has been slow to undo. The erosion, the wind, the rain, all have taken their toll. Yet even today the Sphinx stands, still facing the horizon, still watching the sunrise. As we come to this point, we pause. The questions about the Sphinx's true age still linger in the air. Geologists and historians debate whether the erosion of its body was caused by wind or water. Some say the Sphinx is much older than we think, older than the pyramids themselves. Others suggest it was built much later, during the reign of Khafre. But tonight, as we lie here in the quiet, these questions don't need answers. It's enough to know that the Sphinx has endured. It has stood through countless shifts in the earth, through rain and wind, through dynasties and empires. It has seen the world change and continue to change, yet it remains. Let the questions drift away. The Sphinx does not need answers, it only needs to be. Today, the Sphinx is a symbol of Egypt, a place that draws tourists from all over the world. Researchers come too, hoping to unlock the secrets that have been buried for so long. But through it all, the Sphinx remains unmoved. It has seen this all before. The crowds may come and go, the cameras flash, but the Sphinx, with its tranquil gaze, remains. It watches the world continue on its endless march, its silence unbroken. And so, as we reach the final moments of our journey, let us gently recap what we've learned tonight. The Sphinx is not just a statue, it is a symbol, a guardian, a reminder of endurance and silence. It was built slowly, patiently, carved from the very bedrock of the Giza plateau. It has watched over the land for over 4,000 years, through the rise and fall of dynasties, through the shifting sands of time. Its face is calm, its body is steady, it has nothing to prove, it simply exists, watching, waiting. As you lie there now, feel the calm that the Sphinx offers. Let the silence of the desert fill your mind. The wind may blow softly across the land, but it cannot disturb the Sphinx. It stands firm, still, in the quiet of the night. There is nothing more to do. You don't have to follow the story any longer. You don't have to solve any mysteries. Just breathe. Let go of your thoughts. Let the desert stillness wash over you as the Sphinx has done for so many centuries. As the Sphinx quietly watches the passing of centuries, its stillness becomes a symbol of resilience. It has endured not by grand gestures or dramatic moments, but by simply being present, unchanging, unmoving, unwavering. It is a reminder that time, though it flows endlessly forward, is not something that needs to be feared. In the Sphinx's presence, time slows, becomes gentle, and the relentless pace of life softens into something more manageable, something we can drift into comfortably and without concern. Let us take another moment to gently reflect on the silence that surrounds the Sphinx. As we relax into the softness of our own space, it becomes easy to imagine the long, a slow passage of the years that the Sphinx has witnessed. It has been here so long that it seems to know the rhythms of the earth, the movements of the stars, the silence of the desert night. All that has happened in the world around it, the building of empires, the rise and fall of kings and queens, the quiet erosion of stone, all of that has played out in the space between its paws under the gaze of its face. Perhaps there is something comforting in that, something comforting in knowing that just as the Sphinx remains unmoving, so too can we find rest amidst the restless world. The world moves forward, but we, like the Sphinx, can pause. We can simply be, we can rest. There is no need to rush, no need to race against time. For tonight time will be soft, time will wait for us. As we drift further into this quiet history, consider the fact that the Sphinx has been a part of a larger story. While it has been here, immovable, enduring, the Giza Plateau itself has seen change. The once fertile land where farmers once tilled the soil and the river Nile flowed wide and full has become the arid, dry desert we know today. The great river which sustained ancient Egypt now runs far from this sacred land, and the lush fields have given way to sand. Yet in all this change the Sphinx has remained. It is easy to imagine as you lay there feeling the weight of the soft sheets beneath you that the Sphinx might have watched the seasons change for thousands of years. Perhaps it saw the Nile flood every year, bringing life and water to the land, or maybe it witnessed the long hot summers when the river would retreat and leave behind nothing but dry earth. Through all of it, the Sphinx simply stood, gazing out over the land, unmoving and patient. What a peace it must have found in that stillness. Perhaps the most beautiful part of the Sphinx's existence is that it has always been here for those who are willing to slow down enough to appreciate it. The Egyptians, with their deep connection to the earth, saw the Sphinx as something sacred, something that bridged the gap between the physical world and the spiritual. It was a figure of power, yes, but also a figure of calm. It offered protection and strength, but in the quietest of ways. As the Sphinx has watched over the land, it has also watched over those who have come to honor it. Kings, queens, and pharaohs built temples and tombs to surround the Sphinx, hoping to capture some of the divine power it seemed to hold. They believed that by placing themselves in the presence of such a majestic, enduring figure, they could gain favor with the gods and ensure their place in the afterlife. For centuries, the Sphinx was a part of the spiritual life of Egypt, a figure that could not be ignored or dismissed. It was a constant reminder of the divine forces at work in the world, Now, as you rest here in your own quiet space, take a deep breath and imagine the sounds of the desert around you. Picture the soft whispers of the wind carrying the scent of dry earth and distant sand dunes. There is no hurry, there is no rush. The Sphinx is not concerned with where you are going or how quickly you get there. It simply waits. It watches. It is there always for those who are ready to listen, ready to slow down enough to appreciate its quiet presence. The sun will rise tomorrow, as it always has. The Sphinx will continue to watch the horizon, and whether you're awake to see it or asleep in the comfort of your own bed, the Sphinx will be there, its eyes calm and steady, its body grounded in the earth. And now, as the story continues to unfold, we can turn our attention to the Sphinx's place in the world of the living. For centuries it remained buried beneath the sands, lost to time and forgotten by most. But over the years, explorers and travelers began to uncover the secrets of this ancient monument. They dusted off the sand and began to understand the importance of the Sphinx in the context of Egypt's history. With each new discovery, the Sphinx became a symbol not only of Egypt's ancient past, but of its enduring power and mystery. Scholars debated its origins, its purpose, and its meaning. But in the quiet of the desert night, all of those debates fade away. The Sphinx does not need to justify its existence, it simply is. Through the years, the Sphinx has gone through many stages. It has been revered, abandoned, rediscovered, and restored. It has stood through the rise and fall of empires, through centuries of human ambition and triumph. But despite all of this, it remains a figure of calm, a monument that does not seek attention but simply allows history to come to it. The Sphinx doesn't need to speak to be understood. It doesn't need to prove anything. It simply endures. In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, the Sphinx stands as a symbol of permanence, of stillness. It is a reminder that sometimes the most powerful things are the ones that remain quiet, the ones that let time pass them by without feeling the need to fight it. The Sphinx teaches us that we do not need to hurry. We can take our time. We can rest. And now, as the night deepens and the world outside falls silent, let the Sphinx's stillness wash over you. Imagine yourself there beneath the stars, the desert stretching out before you. The cool night air brushes your skin, the sounds of the desert are far away, and all that is left is the quiet presence of the Sphinx. You can feel the weight of history, the slow rhythm of time, but none of it feels heavy. Instead, it feels peaceful, reassuring, like a lullaby that has been sung for thousands of years. The Sphinx is not just a monument, it is a memory of all the things that have passed through the ages, a constant reminder that in the grand scheme of things, that we are all part of a larger story. But that story doesn't need to be rushed, it doesn't need to be filled with urgency. Like the Sphinx, we too can simply exist in the stillness. Now, let the story drift away as you find your own rhythm in this quiet moment. There is no need to remember every detail. Just let the images of the Sphinx, of the desert, of the quiet night fill your mind as you slowly drift into sleep. The Sphinx will still be there when you wake, still watching, still waiting. And with that, it is time to rest. You don't need to follow the story any longer. You don't need to hold on to any details. Just breathe deeply, feel the softness of your surroundings, and let the Sphinx quiet presence soothe you into peaceful slumber. As the minutes pass, the quiet of the desert surrounds you. The Sphinx, with its timeless gaze, still stands vigilant, watching the horizon. Though we've only touched upon its long and quiet history, there is a sense that the monument's existence stretches far beyond what we can understand. It is a presence that has been constant for millennia, and in that constancy there is a deep sense of peace. It's hard to fully grasp the scale of time when we are caught up in the bustle of our daily lives. Time feels endless when we are in motion, and yet when we take a moment to stop, to reflect, we realize that the passage of time can be both slow and swift. The Sphinx understands this better than anyone. It has seen the world change around it, yet it has remained steadfast, quiet, and unmoving. There is something immensely calming in that. Let us now turn to the Sphinx's role in modern times. The world has changed since it was first created. Civilizations have risen and fallen. New technologies have come into being, and the world has become more connected than ever before. But through it all, the Sphinx has remained. In the 19th century, as explorers and archaeologists uncovered more of the Sphinx's secrets, it became a symbol not only of Egypt's ancient grandeur but also of the mysteries that still remain buried in the sands. People from all over the world came to see the Great Sphinx. They marveled at its size, its form, and its quiet presence. But for all the attention it garnered, the Sphinx remained unchanged. It continued to watch as it always had and as it always will. Some have wondered what the Sphinx might think if it could speak. What would it say to the generations that have come to admire it? To the tourists that now take photos and videos as they stand before it? But the Sphinx does not speak, and perhaps that is what makes it so powerful. It does not need to explain itself. It simply is. It is a monument to silence and endurance, standing unflinchingly against the forces of time. As we think of the modern world, it is easy to see how much has changed. Yet in the presence of the Sphinx there is a sense of timelessness. The world moves, but the Sphinx waits. The sands shift, but the Sphinx remains. The winds blow, but the Sphinx does not waver. It stands in a state of perfect stillness, enduring everything that comes its way. In a way, the Sphinx teaches us something very important. It teaches us that stillness is not the absence of movement, but the presence of patience. Yet it teaches us that we don't always need to be in motion to be effective or meaningful. Sometimes the greatest strength lies in simply being present, in quietly observing, in enduring without needing to prove anything. As we lie here, surrounded by the quiet of our own space, we can allow the Sphinx's stillness to guide us. There is no need to rush. There is no need to be constantly active. The Sphinx shows us that rest in its purest form is a strength. To simply be, to be quiet, to let the world move around us while we remain steady. This is a power that comes from within. It is a power that we all carry, even in our sleep. The Sphinx, throughout its long history, has inspired countless legends, stories, and myths. In ancient Egypt, it was seen as a protector, a guardian that stood watch over the land, but beyond that, it was also a symbol of mystery and wisdom. The ancient Egyptians believed that the Sphinx held knowledge, that it could answer the riddles of the world if only one could unlock its secrets. This idea of the Sphinx as a riddle, as something that holds knowledge, has persisted through the centuries. The Greeks in particular were fascinated by the Sphinx. In their mythology, the Sphinx was depicted as a creature that asked travelers a riddle. What walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at noon, and 3 legs in the evening? Those who could not answer the riddle were said to be devoured by the creature. It was a fearsome image, but also one that spoke to the mysterious nature of the Sphinx itself. Yet, in the quiet of tonight's story, there is no need to solve any riddles. There are no questions to be answered. The Sphinx, in all its grandeur, does not ask anything of us. It simply exists. And in that existence, it invites us to let go of our need for answers, our need for constant understanding. Sometimes it is enough to simply be in the presence of something that has endured, something that has withstood the test of time without ever needing to explain itself. As we drift deeper into this story, let us now reflect on the Sphinx's place in the larger history of Egypt. It is easy to imagine in our busy world that the Sphinx stands alone, but in reality it is part of a larger story, a story of kings, queens, and gods, of civilization and creation. The Sphinx is part of the fabric of ancient Egypt, a civilization that stretched for thousands of years, its influence felt across the ancient world. Yet, even within this vast and complex civilization, the Sphinx remains something of a mystery. While we may know the general outline of its creation and its significance, much of its history remains unknown. We don't know exactly when it was built, who built it, or why it was created in the first place. But perhaps that is part of its allure. The Sphinx is not just a monument to a specific time or place. It is a monument to the unknown, to the mysteries that we may never fully understand. The Egyptians themselves were deeply spiritual people, and they believed in the power of symbols and rituals. The Sphinx, with its combination of human and animal forms, was a symbol of strength, wisdom, and divine protection. It was a figure that connected the earthly realm with the divine, a reminder that the pharaohs were not just rulers on earth, but also spiritual beings with a connection to the gods. In many ways, the Sphinx represents the core beliefs of ancient Egypt. It embodies the idea that life and death are part of a larger cycle, that the physical world is connected to the spiritual, and that the power of the gods can be felt in the monuments that humans create. The Sphinx, standing at the gateway to the Giza plateau, is a symbol of the enduring connection between the divine and the earthly, between life and death, and between the past and the present. As you lie here now listening to the story of the Sphinx, feel the weight of history around you. It is not a heavy weight, but a comforting one. It is the weight of time that has passed, of lives lived and stories told, of civilizations that have risen and fallen. The Sphinx has seen it all, yet it stands firm, unmoving and undisturbed. It is a reminder that we too can stand firm. We too can endure the passage of time without being swept away by the rush of the world. The Sphinx shows us that we do not need to constantly strive. We do not need to race against time. We can simply be, as it has been for thousands of years. In the stillness there is strength. In the quiet there is peace. And now, as the story of the Sphinx continues to unfold, let us gently step away from the details of its history and turn our attention back to the stillness of the night. The world around us is quiet, the desert is vast, and the Sphinx stands in its eternal watch. There is no need to rush through this moment. There is no need to hurry to the next part of the story. Take a moment to simply be present, just as the Sphinx is. Feel the stillness around you. Let your breath slow down. Let the quiet settle over you like the soft sands of the desert covering the statue's paws, its chest and its body. There is no rush, no need to move forward. Just rest here in the calm of the present moment, surrounded by the quiet presence of the Sphinx. It is okay if you drift off to sleep now. It is okay if the story fades away and you are left with only the soft whispers of the desert winds. The Sphinx will still be there waiting, watching as it always has. And with that, it is time to let go of the story. Let the sands drift in, let the night take over. You can rest now in the stillness, in the presence of the Great Sphinx. As the desert winds continue to sweep across the Giza plateau, the Sphinx remains unmoved, timeless in its quiet strength. The sky above is filled with stars, their twinkling light casting a soft glow across the darkened land. In this moment there is nothing to do but breathe, to take in the stillness that surrounds you. The world has changed so much since the Sphinx was first carved from the bedrock. Entire civilizations have risen and fallen, empires have come and gone, and yet the Sphinx has remained. It has witnessed all of this, silently observing from its place on the plateau. It has seen the sun rise and set countless times, marking the passing of the days, the weeks, the years. But even as the world moves forward, the Sphinx does not rush. It does not feel the need to keep up with the ever-changing pace of life. It simply waits, steadfast and calm, a monument to endurance. In its stillness there is a lesson. There is a reminder that we too can take our time. We don't need to chase the world around us. We can stand firm in our own space as the Sphinx does, allowing time to pass us by without feeling the need to hurry. The Sphinx's place in the history of Egypt is not just one of stone and sand. It is a symbol of the gods, a reminder of the divine connection between the pharaohs and the heavens. The Sphinx, with its lion's body and human face, represents the balance between power and wisdom. It is a figure that embodies both the strength of the animal kingdom and the intellect of humanity. As the ancient Egyptians saw it, the Sphinx was more than just a statue. It was a guardian, a protector of sacred spaces. It stood as a symbol of the pharaoh's divine right to rule, and it was placed at the entrance to the Giza plateau as a watchful sentinel. It was meant to oversee not just the land, but the spirits of those who had passed and those who would come. Imagine, if you will, the stillness of the night with the Sphinx standing alone in the darkness. The world around it has changed, but it remains untouched, as if suspended in time. In that quiet moment there is a sense of peace, a sense that perhaps We too can find our own peace in the midst of life's chaos. We do not need to chase after answers or rush through our days. The Sphinx teaches us that stillness can be enough. As you lie there feeling the weight of your body sinking deeper into the bed, imagine the vastness of the desert surrounding you. The sand stretches out in every direction, endless and quiet. The Sphinx, though large and imposing, is merely a part of this vast landscape. It is not the center of attention. It is not seeking fame or recognition. It simply is. The desert is a place where time seems to move slowly, where the rhythms of the earth are felt more deeply. The heat of the day fades into the coolness of the night, and the stars above shine brightly, their light distant yet comforting. The Sphinx, in its quiet watchfulness, mirrors the stillness of the desert. It is a part of the land, as much a fixture of the earth as the sand and the sky. As you breathe in and out slowly and steadily, let your mind drift to the timelessness of the desert. The Sphinx has stood here for thousands of years, and it will stand for thousands more. It has seen it all, the changing of seasons, the ebb and flow of civilizations, the quiet passage of time. Yet through it all it remains unshaken, unmoved by the forces that shape the world around it. In this moment you too can find stillness. You too can rest just as the Sphinx rests in its eternal vigil. Let go of the need to do, to accomplish, to rush. Let the quiet of the desert fill your mind and allow yourself to drift into sleep, carried by the gentle rhythm of time. The Sphinx's story is not just one of grandeur and mystery, it is a story of endurance, of patience, and of quiet strength. It is a story that reminds us that we don't need to fight against time. We can simply exist as the Sphinx has, watching the world pass by from a place of calm and peace. So, as you rest here, remember the Sphinx's lesson. There is no need to hurry, there is no need to rush through life. Like the Sphinx, you can simply be. You can exist in the quiet, in the stillness, without the need for answers or explanations. In this moment, as you close your eyes and let the world fade away, know that you are not alone. The Sphinx is with you, silently watching over you, just as it has watched over the land for centuries. You are safe, you are at peace, and you can rest. Let the sound of your breath guide you deeper into relaxation. Each inhale brings a sense of calm, and each exhale releases any tension you may be holding. Imagine yourself in the stillness of the desert, beneath the vast expanse of the night sky, with the Sphinx standing watch over you. There is nothing more to do now, nothing to think about, just rest. Allow the quiet presence of the Sphinx to soothe you, to remind you that all is well, that time is not something to fear. The Sphinx stands calm and steady, and so can you. As you drift into sleep, remember that you are a part of something timeless. Like the Sphinx, you are grounded in the present moment. You do not need to rush ahead, you can simply be, and in that being you will find peace. Good night, sleep well. Let the stillness carry you into a peaceful, restful slumber. Just as the Sphinx has watched over the desert for thousands of years, you too can rest in the quiet. Let go of the world and fall into the comfort of the night. The world outside is still and you are safe. As the Sphinx watches over the Giza plateau, so too do the quiet sands of the desert embrace you, protecting you as you sleep. There is no need to worry. There is no need to fear. The Sphinx remains steady, unmoving, and you are at peace. As you rest now, think of the Sphinx standing tall and silent in the desert, its gaze unwavering. It has endured through thousands of years, witnessing the quiet passage of time. It has seen empires rise and fall, witnessed the changing of seasons, and felt the winds shift across the vast Giza plateau. Yet through it all it remains as it has always been, a quiet monument to endurance and patience. Now, as you lie here, feel the peaceful stillness of the night. The desert around the Sphinx is vast and empty, stretching endlessly in all directions. There is no rush, no urgency, just the quiet sound of the wind moving across the sand. In this moment, time feels gentle, almost slow. The Sphinx, though ancient, does not seem old. It is timeless. It simply is. You may find that as you listen to the story of the Sphinx, your mind begins to slow down, just as time slows for the monument itself. There's no need to follow every detail. The important thing is not the facts, not the history, but the sense of calm that comes from being in the presence of something so enduring. For thousands of years, the Sphinx has been a figure of reverence, admired for its majestic form and mysterious presence. But as we sit with it now, we don't need to think about its grandeur. Instead, let's focus on its quietness. The Sphinx does not demand attention. It simply waits quietly and steadily for all who come to visit. It has no need for praise, no need for recognition. Its stillness is its strength. As you rest, let the Sphinx's quiet presence remind you that you do not need to seek constant validation or approval. In the silence there is power. In the stillness there is peace. Just like the Sphinx, you have everything you need within you. There is no need to strive. You can simply be. Now, as the night deepens, take a moment to think about the way the Sphinx watches the horizon. Its gaze is fixed on the east, where the sun rises every day, as it has for thousands of years. The Sphinx has seen countless sunrises, each one bringing a new day, and yet it remains unchanged. It does not hurry to meet the sunrise, it simply waits. In your own life, you too will see many sunrises. Each day brings new possibilities, new experiences. But like the Sphinx, there is no need to rush ahead. The sun will rise as it always does, and you will be there to meet it in your own time, in your own way. For now, let the world outside fade away, and focus on the gentle rhythm of your breath. As you breathe in deeply, feel your body relax even further. Let go of any tension, any worries. The Sphinx is watching over you, just as it has watched over the land for centuries, and just as it has endured, so too can you find strength in stillness, in rest, in being present. The world around you is calm now. The desert stretches out in every direction, and the stars above seem to twinkle more brightly than ever. The Sphinx, unmoving and eternal, is part of this stillness. It is a figure of solitude, of quiet strength, reminding us that we too can find peace in the silence. The world may rush around us, but in this moment there is no need to hurry. Time moves at its own pace, and we can move with it. The Sphinx teaches us that there is wisdom in patience, in waiting. We do not need to chase after answers. We do not need to constantly be on the move. Sometimes the best thing we can do is to simply stop, to rest, to breathe, and to be present. Let the Sphinx's stillness guide you into a deeper sense of calm. With each passing moment, the world around you grows quieter. The wind has died down and the desert is still. The Sphinx, standing so majestically in the distance, is now a part of the night, blending into the landscape as though it were always meant to be there. It is timeless, ageless, and enduring. As you lie here letting the stillness wash over you, remember that you too can be timeless. Like the Sphinx, you are a part of this world, but you do not need to rush through it. You can take your time, find your own rhythm, and simply exist in the quiet. There is nothing more to do, nothing more to think about. Just rest, let your mind drift like the sands of the desert carried by the wind, slowly and without haste. The Sphinx has seen the world change, but it remains unchanged. And you too can find rest in the stillness of the moment. As the night continues to deepen, the quiet becomes more profound. The Sphinx's silent gaze remains fixed on the horizon, but now it feels as though time itself has slowed down. The desert is vast and empty, and yet in this emptiness there is a certain fullness, a sense of peace and contentment. The Sphinx is not just a monument to the past, it is a symbol of the present, a reminder that we do not need to be constantly striving or achieving. Sometimes we can simply rest. And so, as you rest here, feeling the softness of your bed beneath you, imagine yourself standing beside the Sphinx, feeling the quiet of the desert wrap around you. There is no rush. There is no need to go anywhere. You can simply be. The Sphinx has endured for thousands of years, and it will continue to endure for thousands more. Its presence is constant, unchanging, and steady. Just as the Sphinx watches over the desert, so too can you watch over your own life with patience and stillness. You don't need to chase after the world. You can simply stand like the Sphinx, calm and centered, knowing that everything will unfold in its own time. As you drift into a deeper sleep, let the image of the Sphinx remain with you. Let it be a reminder that stillness can be powerful. You don't need to do anything to prove your worth. Just rest. Let the world move around you while you remain steady and calm, like the Sphinx. The desert is quiet now. The Sphinx stands as it always has, watching the horizon. It has seen so much, yet it is content to remain unmoving, enduring the passage of time with patience and grace. As you lie there drifting off to sleep, remember that you too can be still, content, and at peace. Good night. Let the Sphinx's quiet strength guide you into rest, into sleep. You are safe, you are at peace. The world is waiting, but for now you need only rest. As you continue to rest, deepening into the stillness of the night, think once more of the Sphinx. Imagine it there in the distance, silent and unmoving, watching the stars above. It has stood for thousands of years through the ebb and flow of countless lives and histories, yet it remains unchanged, enduring the passage of time with the quiet strength that it has always held. In a way, the Sphinx seems to hold the secret to peace, a peace that doesn't require movement or action. It simply exists, and in its existence, it offers a reminder. There is no need to rush through life. You don't have to chase after the next moment. Just as the Sphinx watches over the horizon, you too can simply watch, observing the present, letting time pass gently by. Feel the stillness of the desert wrap around you now, just as the Sphinx feels the quiet of the sands at its feet. The wind blows softly, but it does not disturb the Sphinx. It does not rush. It simply exists. And so too can you. Over the centuries, as explorers and scholars have come to study the Sphinx, many have wondered about its meaning. Why was it built? Who exactly built it? And what was the purpose of combining a lion's body with a human face? But tonight, as you listen, we don't need answers to these questions. The Sphinx doesn't need to answer. It has nothing to prove. Let go of the need for certainty. Instead, let the quiet presence of the Sphinx teach you that it is okay not to know all the answers. Sometimes simply being is enough. Just like the Sphinx, you don't need to rush ahead or figure it all out. You can simply rest in the moment, content with what you have, as the desert around you rests beneath the silent stars. The night continues to deepen, and with each passing minute, you feel yourself sinking further into relaxation. Your body feels heavy, as though the soft bed beneath you is holding you gently, much like the bedrock that holds the Sphinx in place. There is no need to move. The weight of your body is supported, and in that support you can find a deep sense of peace. Imagine now, standing beside the Sphinx, the vast desert stretching out around you. The winds are soft, the temperature cool as the night air settles. The Sphinx's steady gaze looks out over the horizon, unchanging, steady, and patient. It watches the world change, yet it never moves. It has stood in the same spot for thousands of years, and it will continue to stand quiet and undisturbed for many more. And in this stillness, in this quiet, you too can find peace. You don't need to be anywhere else, doing anything else. Just here in this moment, you are enough, you are safe, you are at rest, and you can allow yourself to drift off, just as the Sphinx has drifted through the centuries without ever leaving its post. As you continue to let go of any lingering tension, feel your body becoming lighter, more relaxed with every breath. The world outside may be bustling and full of noise, but here, in this quiet moment, you are surrounded by peace. The Sphinx too has felt the changing of the world around it, but it remains unchanged. It is not disturbed by the passing of time. It simply is. Imagine the sands shifting gently at the Sphinx's feet, the same sands that have surrounded it for millennia. The Sphinx has seen the land around it change, but it has not been shaken. It stands firm, rooted in the earth, unbothered by the winds that blow across the desert. And so, you, too, can find your grounding in this moment. The winds may blow, the world may shift, but you are steady, calm, and at peace. The Sphinx stillness is not just physical, it is a stillness of mind, a stillness of spirit. It does not need to be anything other than what it is. It doesn't seek fame or attention. It doesn't strive for greatness. It simply stands, and in its standing, it provides a deep sense of calm. This is the lesson it offers. to be still, to be present, and to allow life to unfold at its own pace. There is no need to rush. The world will continue on, but you can find your own rhythm, your own pace, much like the Sphinx. As you lie here now, feel the deep relaxation in your body. Allow your mind to drift, just as the sands drift gently over the land. There is no need to hold on to anything. Just let go, just as the Sphinx has let go of any need to move. In this stillness, there is peace. Let your thoughts now begin to fade like the distant sound of wind across the desert. You do not need to follow the story any longer. The Sphinx remains in its place, timeless and quiet, watching over the land. It does not need your attention, but it offers it nonetheless. Let its stillness fill your mind as you gently drift off. Feel your body sinking deeper into rest. Let the quiet of the night wrap around you like a warm blanket. The Sphinx is there, in the desert, its gaze steady, unwavering, watching over the land as the world moves on. But you, here in this moment, need not move. You are at peace as you fall into a deeper sleep. Let the image of the Sphinx be the last thing on your mind. Its peaceful presence, its quiet strength, will remain with you even as you drift off into the world of dreams. The desert, the stars, the soft whisper of the wind, these will all carry you into a restful sleep, just as the Sphinx has carried the history of Egypt through the ages. The world outside may continue to move, but here in this moment you are still, you are at peace, you are safe. And as the Sphinx continues to watch over the desert, so too can you rest in the stillness of the night. As you rest here, letting the quiet embrace you, the Sphinx stands firm in its timeless vigilance. The world outside may be filled with noise, movement, and chaos, but here in this peaceful space, there is only stillness, and in that stillness, there is comfort. You are grounded just as the Sphinx is, anchored by the steady rhythm of your breath, by the calmness of your body, and by the soothing presence of the desert in your mind. Imagine the soft wind again drifting slowly over the vast sands of Giza. The desert stretches endlessly in all directions, and in the distance the Sphinx stands, its gaze eternal and calm, its body still against the ever-moving sands. The wind whispers through the land, but the Sphinx does not move. It simply exists, unwavering through the endless shifting of time. As you relax further, feel yourself becoming lighter with each breath. You are here in this moment, surrounded by the same timeless stillness that surrounds the Sphinx. The world outside may be busy, but here in the quiet you can find your own rhythm. The Sphinx has stood for thousands of years, and in its enduring quiet there is a deep lesson that stillness is not a lack of action, but a presence all its own. In the calm there is strength. Think about the vast desert once more. The sand, soft and fine, stretches out beneath the stars. The Sphinx is there, its body a part of the land, as much a part of Egypt's history as the pyramids that stand nearby. But the Sphinx does not seek to compete with the pyramids. It does not need to be the tallest or the grandest. It simply watches, content in its place. It is enough. Now, as you lie here in your own space, let that quiet contentment fill your heart. You are enough just as you are. There is no need to rush. There is no need to achieve anything else right now. The Sphinx teaches us that we do not have to strive constantly, we can simply be. And in this quiet, let's take a moment to reflect on the history of the Sphinx. Not just the grand history of kings and dynasties, but the history of the stone itself. The limestone, once the bottom of a shallow sea, was shaped by the forces of nature, weathered by the wind, softened by the rain. Yet, despite all of this, the Sphinx remains. The stone has been eroded, smoothed, and weathered, but it continues to stand. It has seen centuries pass, but it is still here. In the same way, you too can endure the changes that life brings. The world will shift, but you, like the Sphinx, can remain steady. You are grounded, rooted in the present, and there is no need to be afraid of what the future may bring. The Sphinx does not worry about the years ahead. It simply remains calm and steady, watching as the world moves on. As you sink deeper into relaxation, allow your mind to rest in the same way. The Sphinx is not concerned with the passage of time. It does not worry about what is next or what has already passed. It simply is, and in that being it finds peace. So too can you find peace in simply being present in this moment, in this space. Feel the quiet embrace you like the soft sands of the desert. The night is still and the world is at rest. The Sphinx is a quiet observer of this stillness, watching over the land as it has for millennia. And as it watches, so can you. You do not need to chase after anything, just breathe, just be. Let the stillness fill you. The stars above shine brightly, their light gentle and distant. The wind moves across the desert, but it does not disturb the peace. The Sphinx stands, its eyes calm and watchful, but its presence is not a command. It is an invitation to rest, to be still, and to let time pass without rushing. As you continue to relax, let go of any remaining tension. Feel the weight of your body sink deeper into rest. There is nothing else to do, nothing else to think about, just the quiet of the desert, the stillness of the Sphinx, and the peace that surrounds you. You are part of this calm. You are part of this timeless moment, and as the night unfolds, the Sphinx remains watching over the land with quiet patience. It is a monument to endurance, to silence, to stillness. It does not seek attention, but it offers its presence, and in that presence there is comfort. You too are a part of this moment, a part of the peaceful stillness that the Sphinx embodies. Like the Sphinx, you can endure, you can remain calm. There is no need to rush or worry. Just as the Sphinx stands in quiet strength, you can find your own quiet strength in the stillness. As your thoughts begin to fade and the world outside the window grows quieter still, imagine yourself once more standing beside the Sphinx, its gaze steady and calm as it watches over the horizon. The desert stretches out in all directions and the air is cool, the night peaceful. The Sphinx does not ask for anything, it does not need anything. It simply exists, and in its existence it teaches us the power of stillness. Feel yourself becoming lighter as you drift further into relaxation. The Sphinx stands, unwavering, enduring, and so do you. There is no need to do anything, there is no rush. You are safe, you are at rest. And as you close your eyes, let the quiet of the desert, the presence of the Sphinx, and the peace of the night guide you into a deep and restful sleep. As the gentle flow of the night continues, imagine yourself deeper into the desert now, the land stretching out infinitely, quiet and unbroken. The Sphinx, steadfast in its place, gazes over the horizon as it has for millennia. There is a rhythm to the world here, slow, methodical, and unhurried. Each moment drifts by like the shifting sands that softly roll across the Giza plateau. The Sphinx has seen countless changes, but it remains unshaken. The sun rises and sets each day, and the stars above move in their silent dance across the sky. Time flows, but the Sphinx stays still, a reminder that there is beauty in quiet endurance. And just as the Sphinx watches the world unfold, so too can you relax into this moment without worry or haste. Now let your body sink deeper into the comfort of your bed. Feel the softness, the warmth that holds you, just as the earth holds the Sphinx. With every exhale, let go of any remaining tension. The world outside may feel busy, but here in this moment there is only peace. There is only the quiet embrace of stillness. The desert stretches out before you, vast and empty, with the Sphinx standing watch in the distance. The wind is soft, but steady. The air, cool and gentle, whispers through the land, caressing the stone of the Sphinx. Every grain of sand tells the story of centuries. But the Sphinx does not rush to uncover them, it simply waits. And as you wait here, relaxed with your thoughts becoming softer and softer, imagine that you are part of the quiet desert too. You don't need to move, you don't need to do anything, just breathe, just be. The Sphinx's gaze remains constant, unchanging. It watches the sunrise and the sunset without ever needing to chase them. It is a part of the world, but it does not need to keep up with its relentless pace. The Sphinx is a symbol of presence, of quiet observation, of patience. In your own life, the world may move fast, people may rush past you, time may seem to slip away quickly, but you don't have to chase it. Just like the Sphinx, you can choose stillness. You can choose peace. There is no need to rush forward, just breathe and rest. The world will keep moving, but for now all you need to do is rest and allow yourself to drift. As you lie in this stillness, think once more of the Sphinx standing under the stars, the quiet desert stretching for miles around it. Imagine the peacefulness that must come with knowing that time passes, but you remain. The Sphinx has known this for thousands of years. It watches, waits, and endures. It is grounded, stable, and unwavering. You too can ground yourself in this moment. You don't need to think about what's next or where you're going. Let all of that drift away. In this stillness, in this quiet, there is no need to move, just be. Allow the presence of the Sphinx to guide you deeper into relaxation. Now, imagine the soft whispers of the desert winds once more moving gently through the sand. The Sphinx's eyes are still fixed on the horizon. It does not strain to see, it simply observes. This is the lesson it offers. The lesson of observation without attachment, of stillness without effort. Let that lesson settle within you. You don't need to chase after anything. You don't need to accomplish anything right now. Just allow yourself to rest. Just as the Sphinx rests in its eternal watch over the desert. The world may change, but the Sphinx remains. With each breath, feel yourself becoming more deeply relaxed, your body sinking into the bed as the quiet washes over you. The Sphinx continues its vigil, and in its presence you are safe, you are calm, and you are at peace. There is nothing more you need to do. You are part of the quiet desert now, still, steady, and grounded. As you continue to drift into a deeper, more peaceful sleep, let the image of the Sphinx remain in your mind. Let it be the final thought as you let go of the day, knowing that you too can be as enduring and as peaceful as the Sphinx. Just as it has stood the test of time, so too can you rest in this moment. As the night continues its gentle descent, let the stillness of the desert fill your thoughts. The Sphinx remains, ever watchful, its gaze unwavering as it has been for thousands of years. Imagine its serene face, carved from the stone of the earth itself, a reminder that patience and endurance are some of life's greatest strengths. Though the world continues to spin, the Sphinx stays rooted in its place, a monument of peace and stability amidst the shifting sands of time. The desert around it remains vast, stretching in every direction, untouched and serene. The stars above are distant, but their light casts a soft glow, illuminating the figure of the Sphinx as it stands, watching quietly over the land. In this moment there is no need to rush. The world can wait. Just as the Sphinx has waited for millennia, you too can wait, content in the stillness, grounded in the peace of the present moment. You are safe here, just as the Sphinx has been safe in its place. There is no pressure, no need to move forward. You can simply be. Let the imagery of the Sphinx and the desert envelop you as you sink deeper into relaxation. Feel how the stillness wraps around you, much like the sand surrounding the great statue. Every grain of sand in the desert holds the weight of time, and each moment you spend in this quiet space brings you closer to rest. There is no need to chase after anything. Time will move forward, but for now, you are in the present. Imagine yourself standing beside the Sphinx, looking out over the desert. The gentle breeze brushes past you, cool and calm. The world around you is vast, but you are not lost. You are grounded in this moment, in the same way the Sphinx is grounded in the earth. The quiet of the night settles deeper, wrapping you in its embrace. Feel the rhythm of your breath slow as you allow yourself to relax further. Let the warmth of your body sink into the bed beneath you, supported just as the Sphinx is supported by the rock. There is no rush, no need to think of anything beyond this moment. The world will continue, but you do not need to chase it. Just breathe and be. The Sphinx teaches us a quiet kind of power, a power that does not require action, a strength that comes from simply standing still. In your stillness, you are strong. Just as the Sphinx has endured the centuries, so can you rest in this peaceful moment, knowing that there is nothing you need to do but be. Now, as you continue to drift into the quiet, imagine the passage of time once more. The sands of the desert shift ever so slowly, moving as if guided by some invisible hand. The Sphinx, in its eternal watchfulness, stands unmoved by the passage of time. It does not feel the weight of the years, it simply endures, a symbol of patience and stillness. It does not rush ahead, it is content to remain. In the same way, you too can remain content in this moment. There is no need to rush through life, no need to hurry toward what comes next. You can be still just as the Sphinx is still. Let the world around you slow, and with each breath feel yourself becoming lighter, more relaxed, until your thoughts drift gently away like the sands, leaving only peace behind. The desert is quiet now. The Sphinx stands, ever vigilant, ever silent, its gaze fixed on the horizon. It has seen it all. The rise and fall of kingdoms, the passage of centuries, the constant ebb and flow of time, and yet through it all it remains the same. It is not disturbed by the world around it, it simply watches. In this quiet, there is a lesson. We don't need to chase after time. We don't need to rush. We can simply rest, as the Sphinx has rested for millennia. As you continue to let go, sinking deeper into sleep, feel the peace that comes with stillness. Just as the Sphinx is unmoving in the desert, so too can you rest unmoved, at peace with the world around you. Time passes, but it doesn't need to rush you. You are safe in this moment, and now as you find yourself falling deeper into the quiet, remember the Sphinx's presence, its silent gaze, its unhurried watch, its steadfast stillness. These are all symbols of peace, of rest, of letting go. Just as the Sphinx endures through the ages, so can you rest through the night, safe, still, and unbothered by the world. Good night. Let the desert's peace, the Sphinx's silence, and the stillness of the night guide you into a restful sleep. You are safe. You are grounded. You are at rest. Sleep well. The Sphinx remains, and so do you. As you lie there now resting deeper into your bed, the quiet of the night continues to embrace you. The Sphinx stands silently in the vast desert, its unblinking gaze fixed upon the horizon. It has seen countless sunsets and sunrises, yet it never moves. It watches as the world around it changes, but it remains unmoving, undisturbed by the shifting sands of time. And in that unshakable stillness, there is peace. In your own life, the world may change. People come and go, circumstances shift, and time moves forward. But just like the Sphinx, you can remain rooted in the present, unmoved by the chaos around you. You can find peace in stillness, in the quiet spaces between moments. As the Sphinx watches the horizon, it teaches us that there is power in waiting. The world does not need to rush, and neither do we. We can stand firm in our own space, rooted in the present, or without the need to chase after the next moment. The Sphinx has stood for thousands of years, and it has seen empires rise and fall, kings come and go, but it remains unmoved by the passing of time. And as you lie here feeling the comfort of your bed, let that stillness settle within you. There is nothing to chase. There is nowhere to go. Just breathe and allow the quiet to fill your mind, like the desert wind filling the vast, empty space around the Sphinx. There is no rush. There is no need to move. The stars above shine gently in the night sky, and the desert is vast and quiet. The Sphinx, though ancient, still stands proud, its body a monument to endurance. Imagine the gentle sound of the wind moving across the sand, the same wind that has caressed the Sphinx for thousands of years. The world around it changes, but the Sphinx remains steadfast, a symbol of stillness in a constantly moving world. Let this image soothe you as you drift deeper into sleep. The Sphinx, unmoving yet always present, teaches us that stillness is not the absence of life, but the presence of peace. You too can find rest in stillness. You too can let the world move around you while you remain rooted in the calm of the present moment. As you continue to relax, take a deep breath and feel your body soften even more into your bed. Let the weight of your body sink deeper, supported by the surface beneath you, just as the Sphinx is supported by the bedrock of the earth. There is no need to hold on to any thoughts. Just let them drift away like the desert winds, which gently carry the sand from one place to another. The Sphinx teaches us to let go, to release our grip on the need for control. It stands there perfectly still, trusting in the earth beneath it, trusting that everything will unfold in its own time. And so can you. There is no need to control anything, just breathe and let go. Now imagine the quiet of the desert wrapping around you. Feel the cool air brush against your skin and listen to the soft sound of the wind moving through the dunes. The Sphinx, though ancient, does not fear time. It does not fear the passage of years. It simply exists, calmly observing the world around it. In the same way, you can rest, knowing that time is not something to be feared. It will pass, just as the desert winds do, but you can remain calm, steady, and at peace. With each slow breath, you sink deeper into the stillness. The Sphinx stands unmoving, its steady gaze locked on the horizon. It has nothing to prove, no need for recognition. It simply exists, quietly, without effort. It is a reminder that sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is simply be, to exist without striving, without struggling, without moving, just to be. As you continue to breathe slowly, feel your thoughts becoming lighter and softer, fading into the background like the soft sounds of the desert. There is no need to hold on to anything. Let it all drift away, leaving you with nothing but the peace of the present moment. The world outside may continue to move, but here, in this quiet space, there is only peace. The Sphinx stands as it always has, watching over the land, its presence a quiet reminder that stillness is not something to fear, but something to embrace. In its stillness, it holds all the wisdom of time, and in your own stillness, you too can find peace. Let the quiet of the desert, the presence of the Sphinx, and the gentle rhythm of your breath guide you into a restful, peaceful sleep. You don't need to do anything, just rest, just be. Let go of everything. The world will continue, but for now, all you need to do is sleep. As the night stretches on, imagine the stillness of the desert deepening around you, growing even more profound. The Sphinx, ever vigilant, continues its eternal watch, never hurried, never disturbed. Its presence in the vast quiet landscape feels like the heartbeat of the earth itself, steady, calm, and enduring. Picture the dark sky above you, a tapestry of stars gently twinkling in the distance. The night air is cool, soothing, and still. The winds have calmed, and the only sound you can hear is the soft rustling of sand shifting in the desert. The world, vast and ancient, moves forward slowly, but here in the desert, in the presence of the Sphinx, everything feels at peace. Time does not rush, it lingers, moving with a gentle rhythm that echoes the soft pulse of the universe itself. Allow your body to relax deeper now, releasing any last bits of tension. Imagine the soft, warm embrace of the earth beneath you, just as the Sphinx is embraced by the desert stone. The weight of the world is distant. You do not need to move, to think, or to do anything. Just feel the stillness around you, like the sand gently settling into place, unaffected by time. The Sphinx stands untouched by the changing world around it, its body resting solidly in the earth, its gaze unwavering, as it has been for centuries. And just as the Sphinx has witnessed the passage of time with quiet patience, so can you rest in this moment. There is no rush, no urgency, only calm and gentle peace. In the quiet of this moment, let your mind drift like the desert winds. Imagine that you are surrounded by the soft stillness of the desert. The Sphinx is there with you, watching the horizon. The world beyond this moment continues on, but in this place there is only peace. The land around you, the gentle wind, and the Sphinx's silent watch remind you that for now you are safe. You are at rest, and as you breathe in deeply, slowly feel yourself becoming lighter. With every exhale, let go of any thoughts, any distractions. Just let them fade away as gently as the sands of the desert drifting in the wind. Allow the quiet to fill you completely, like the soft embrace of the night sky surrounding the Sphinx. You do not need to chase anything. You do not need to move. You can simply exist in this peaceful stillness. The Sphinx watches over the desert, but it is not restless. It has no need for excitement, no need for recognition. It simply stands, a monument to endurance. It has witnessed countless lifetimes, witnessed the growth and decay of civilizations, and yet it remains. Time has flowed around it, but it has not been swept away, and as it endures, it invites us to do the same. As you relax more deeply, imagine the Sphinx's quiet gaze, unwavering as it has been for centuries. It sees the world change, but it does not act. It does not hurry. It remains. In this moment, you too can remain. Let go of the urge to chase after thoughts, to race ahead to the next moment. Just be. Like the Sphinx, grounded in the present, you can simply rest. Now, as you feel yourself sinking deeper into the calm, feel the weight of the earth beneath you. The desert sand, the bedrock beneath the Sphinx, is unchanging and steady. It holds you as you rest, supporting you as the world continues its slow passage through time. Just as the Sphinx is supported by the earth, you are supported in this quiet moment, free from any need to rush, to move forward, or to do anything. The world may move fast, but you do not need to chase it. You can slow down, and in that slowness you will find peace. Like the Sphinx, you do not need to prove anything. You do not need to fight the world. You can simply be calmly, serenely, just as the Sphinx has been for thousands of years. Now, let the quietness of this moment fill you completely. The Sphinx continues to stand in the desert, its figure illuminated by the soft glow of the stars. Time passes, but it remains still. Let the steady flow of time be a gentle reminder that you do not need to rush. There is no urgency, there is nothing to prove. Just breathe, just be, and let the stillness wash over you. In this stillness you are free. The Sphinx, unmoving and steadfast, shows you that there is power in simply being. You are enough just as you are. You don't need to chase after anything. You can rest in this moment, in this quiet, and allow yourself to drift off into a peaceful, uninterrupted sleep. As the night grows deeper, let your thoughts soften. The Sphinx remains a quiet sentinel in the desert, watching over the land as the world continues to change. But here, in this moment, the world has slowed. There is only peace. Feel that peace settle around you like the soft, warm sands that have gathered around the Sphinx for centuries. Let it hold you, just as the Sphinx is held by the earth beneath it. There is nothing you need to do now. You do not need to follow the story any longer. The world will continue, but for now you can simply rest. Let the quiet presence of the Sphinx be your guide, leading you into the stillness of sleep where time is not a concern and rest is your only task. As the night unfolds further, imagine that you are not just resting, but also becoming part of the stillness that surrounds the Sphinx. The desert is vast, but it is quiet. The soft winds move the sand gently, whispering through the air, as though carrying secrets of ancient times. The Sphinx, as it has for thousands of years, watches over it all, still unmoving and timeless. In this moment you are like the Sphinx, grounded and at peace. The stillness of the desert is all around you, filling your thoughts with calm, pulling you deeper into the quiet. The only sound is the soft rhythmic pulse of your breath. There is no need to rush, no need to worry about what comes next. You can simply rest, content in the quiet of the present. Let your body relax even further as you breathe slowly and deeply. Picture the Sphinx, its ancient stone face bathed in the light of the stars, its lion body firmly set against the shifting sands. The wind blows softly across the plateau and the world feels still. It feels safe. It feels timeless. As the desert sand shifts around the Sphinx, it remains untouched. No matter how much the world around it changes, the Sphinx stands, unmoved and unhurried. It doesn't fight against time. It simply exists with quiet strength, watching as the stars circle overhead. Now, in the quiet of this moment, you too can exist without rushing. There is no need to seek anything more. You are at peace just as the Sphinx is. You don't need to chase after anything. The world can wait. For now there is only rest, only the soft embrace of the present moment. As the world continues to spin, imagine yourself still standing beside the Sphinx, beneath the vast expanse of the night sky. The stars above twinkle softly, their light far away, gentle and constant. The desert stretches out in every direction, peaceful and undisturbed, with only the Sphinx watching over it all. The air is cool, and the sound of the wind is barely audible, like a gentle whisper. In this stillness, there is no need to think about anything. There is no rush. You are safe, held in the calm of the present moment. Let the presence of the Sphinx remind you that sometimes the greatest strength lies in quiet endurance. There is no need for action, just being is enough. Now imagine the Sphinx again, its face calm and serene, its lion body rooted firmly in the earth. It has witnessed so much, empires, kings, and the rise and fall of civilizations. But it remains still, unmoved by the world's changes. The passage of time has not disturbed it, it simply watches. You too can find peace in the passage of time. The world may change around you, but you, like the Sphinx, can remain steady. There is no need to fight against the current. You can rest in the stillness just as the Sphinx does, quietly watching as time flows by. The desert is vast, but it is peaceful. The Sphinx stands in the center of it, timeless, still, and wise. It does not rush to meet the next moment. It simply exists as it has always existed, calmly awaiting what comes next. There is something deeply comforting in that, in the knowledge that time is not something to fear. It is simply part of the natural order, something to embrace rather than resist. As you relax deeper, feel yourself becoming lighter, more at ease. Imagine yourself in the desert now, standing next to the Sphinx, feeling the quiet warmth of the sand beneath your feet. The world outside is distant. The only thing that matters now is the present moment, the stillness and the peace that surrounds you. With each slow breath, feel your body sinking deeper into the bed, just as the Sphinx is anchored in the earth. Let go of all the tension you've been holding onto. There is no need to keep going, to keep moving. Just be here in this moment. The Sphinx is not in a hurry, and neither are you. The quiet of the desert wraps around you, soft and soothing. It is a comfort to know that there is no need to rush. You are safe in this space. The world moves around you, but you do not have to chase it. Let the Sphinx's unhurried presence remind you that stillness can be just as powerful as movement. You can rest deeply and fully, knowing that everything will unfold in its own time. And now, as the hours pass and the night deepens, let go of any lingering thoughts. Let them drift away like the soft sands blowing across the Giza plateau. Feel your body and mind becoming lighter, drifting farther into the quiet, into the peaceful embrace of sleep. There is nothing else you need to do. Just let the stillness of the desert, the quiet of the Sphinx, and the passage of time carry you into a deep, restful sleep. As the quiet night deepens, feel yourself becoming more and more attuned to the stillness around you. The world continues to turn, but in this moment you are removed from its rush. The Sphinx, standing tall in the desert, teaches us that there is no need to chase the passage of time. It simply moves around us, and we, like the Sphinx, can remain unshaken, unhurried. Imagine the soft rustling of sand, the gentle whispers of the wind through the dunes. The desert is vast and silent, just as the Sphinx's presence is silent. It has witnessed everything: empires, kings, and generations of people who have come and gone. But it stands firm, unmoved by the winds of time. And in that stillness it has found a peace that stretches through the centuries. As you rest now, feel the quiet of the desert creeping closer, wrapping you in a gentle embrace. The air around you is cool, the stars above twinkle softly, and all that matters is this moment. You do not need to rush to anything, you do not need to chase time. Just as the Sphinx has stood still for thousands of years, you can let time flow around you while you remain at rest, safe in the quiet. Every moment you spend here, breathing deeply, sinking deeper into rest, you are more and more connected to the peaceful stillness of the desert. The world outside may continue with its noise and rush, but here You are a part of the quiet, just like the Sphinx. You can find peace in simply being. There is no need to move, no need to act. Just breathe, just rest. The Sphinx has endured for millennia without the need to chase after anything. It has no ambition to go anywhere. It stands unmoved, watching the world as it changes. The winds blow, the sands shift, but the Sphinx remains quiet and steady. And in that steady presence, it finds its power. You too can find power in stillness. You too can rest without worrying about what comes next. The world will keep turning, the sands will keep shifting. But for now, you are safe. You are still. You are at peace. The stars above twinkle quietly in the vast desert sky. The Sphinx stands silently beneath them, a reminder that time is not something to be feared or chased. It flows gently, like the wind that shifts the sands around it. And just as the Sphinx remains, so too can you. There is no need to hurry, there is no need to rush. Time will move at its own pace. Your only task right now is to rest. With every breath you feel yourself sinking deeper into the peace of the night. The Sphinx, standing tall in the distance, is unmoved, its gaze fixed on the horizon. It has no need to seek anything. It simply exists, still unshaken by the passage of time. And you too can simply be, resting, breathing, existing in this quiet, timeless moment. As you settle into the deep comfort of your bed, imagine the Sphinx once more standing in the vast, endless desert. The wind whispers softly through the dunes and the night air is cool and gentle. The Sphinx has witnessed all that has come before, but it does not worry. It simply watches. The world may change, but the Sphinx remains. And in that stillness it finds peace. You too can find peace in the quiet of your own space, with the comfort of your bed beneath you. You can let go of everything. There is nothing more to do. The Sphinx has nothing to prove, and neither do you. You can rest now, knowing that you are enough. You do not need to chase the world, you can simply be. Let the stillness of the desert surround you now, just as it surrounds the Sphinx. Let it fill your mind, softening any remaining tension. The world outside may continue to move, but here there is no rush. There is no need to worry. Just breathe in the calm of the night. Let your thoughts fade into the background as the sands of the desert drift silently across the Giza plateau. With each breath, you feel yourself becoming lighter. You feel your body sinking deeper into rest, supported by the surface beneath you, just as the Sphinx is supported by the bedrock of the earth. There is nothing more to do now. The Sphinx stands watch, steady and calm, and you too can rest. As you drift off, imagine the Sphinx's steady gaze, its quiet presence, and the vastness of the desert around it. It is not concerned with time, it does not worry about the world beyond. It simply watches patiently with no need to hurry or chase after anything. And so in this moment you too can relax. You too can simply rest as you lie there sinking deeper into the tranquility of the night. Think of the Sphinx once more, silent, steady and unshaken, its body carved from the earth, its gaze fixed on the horizon. Imagine the vast desert around it stretching out into infinity. The cool night air brushes softly across the sands. The stars twinkle gently above, but the Sphinx remains unmoved. There is power in this stillness. It is not the forceful kind of power that demands attention or recognition. It is the quiet strength that comes from simply being. The Sphinx does not need to do anything, and yet it endures. It watches. It is part of the world, but it does not chase after the world. It remains constant, steady through all the changes that have come and gone around it. Just as the Sphinx stands unmoving in the desert, you too can stand still in your own life. The world will continue to move, but there is no need to chase it. You can simply be, just like the Sphinx, grounded and at peace. As the night grows deeper, the quiet becomes more profound. The world outside continues on its course, but here, in this moment, there is only peace. There is nothing more to do, nothing to think about, just this calm, this stillness as you lie there in your bed, wrapped in the comfort of the present. Feel the softness beneath you, supporting you, much like the earth supports the Sphinx. There is no rush to get anywhere, no hurry to do anything. Everything that is needed is here. Everything is exactly as it should be. The Sphinx, as it has done for centuries, quietly watches the desert. It has seen the world change, civilizations rise and fall, but it remains. There is something deeply reassuring in that. The world outside may shift, but there is stillness at the heart of it all. And you too can find that stillness now. Let go of the need to rush ahead or worry about what comes next. You can simply rest. Let the stillness of the night be your companion, just as it has been for the Sphinx. Let it calm your thoughts. Let it fill you with peace. The desert is vast, but it is quiet. The Sphinx stands, its presence as constant as the stars above, and you in this moment are part of that quiet. You are grounded, safe, and at peace. As you drift even further into relaxation, let the stillness of the Sphinx become a part of you. The monument does not move, it does not seek anything, it simply watches. And you too can simply watch. Watch the thoughts come and go like the desert winds moving the sand. You do not need to chase after them. You can let them pass by, just as the Sphinx watches the world change and remains unaffected by it. The Sphinx teaches us that we do not need to be constantly moving. We do not need to chase after anything. We can simply be, we can simply exist just as it has, and in that existence there is peace. There is power in stillness. There is beauty in simply watching. Now, as you breathe slowly and deeply, let the image of the Sphinx fill your mind. Imagine its steady, calm presence, standing in the desert beneath the stars. It has witnessed the passing of time, but it does not hurry. It does not need to rush. It simply watches, steady and calm. The desert around it may shift and change, but it remains. And so can you. Feel the quiet embrace you now. The Sphinx's presence is like a gentle guide, teaching you that you do not need to do anything more. You can simply rest. Just as the Sphinx stands in its eternal watch, you too can rest in this moment, grounded in the stillness of the night. As your body continues to relax, feel yourself becoming lighter, your thoughts drifting away. There is nothing to hold on to now. Just like the sands of the desert, let your thoughts pass one by one without any need to grasp them. The world outside may move, but you can remain still like the Sphinx. Let the soft rhythm of your breath lull you deeper into relaxation. And as you continue to rest, know that you are exactly where you need to be. Just as the Sphinx has stood through the ages unchanging, so too are you grounded in the peace of this moment. You do not need to chase time nor worry about what comes next. Simply let yourself be. As the night draws deeper, feel the quiet envelop you even more. The world outside continues on, but here, within this peaceful moment, there is only stillness. The Sphinx, standing still in the desert, is not concerned with what happens beyond its gaze. It remains rooted in place, witnessing the passage of time without being moved by it. The desert around it is vast, but it is not empty. The quiet that fills the air is rich with history, with the memory of millennia that have passed, with the endless ebb and flow of time. But the Sphinx does not rush to meet it, it simply watches, standing firm against the ever-changing landscape as time moves forward with a steady, unhurried pace. Imagine yourself in the desert now, standing next to the Sphinx. The night is cool, the air light, and the sound of the wind is gentle. The stars above shine down, their light soft and constant, just like the presence of the Sphinx. You are surrounded by peace, held in the embrace of the desert, just as the Sphinx is held by the earth. As you rest, feel the peaceful weight of the night settle over you. Your thoughts, like the desert sands, drift gently away, carried by the soft wind. There is no need to hold on to anything. The Sphinx is not concerned with the passing of thoughts, the rush of time. It simply is. And so can you be. Let the stillness fill you, like the desert filling the space around the Sphinx. The Sphinx stands steady and calm, while the world moves forward at its own pace. You too can remain steady in this moment. You do not need to hurry or worry. There is no race. Just breathe and let the calmness of the night take over. Imagine once more the Sphinx in its place beneath the stars, as the desert spreads out endlessly before it. The night is quiet, the only sound being the soft rustling of the wind. The Sphinx's gaze is steady and unwavering, focused on the horizon, unmoved by the passage of time. The world around it changes, but it remains constant. This quiet presence teaches us that we do not need to be swept away by the flow of life. We can be still like the Sphinx, steady in our own presence. Let this thought sink into your mind as you rest. Like the Sphinx, you can simply be here in this moment without needing to move forward. Everything you need is here. The desert, the stars, the soft wind, all of it is here with you. Just as the Sphinx waits patiently for whatever comes next, you can wait in this quiet space, knowing that you are safe and at peace. As the night continues, you may find yourself sinking deeper into relaxation. The Sphinx remains, watching over the land as it has for centuries. Its stillness is comforting, a reminder that we too can find peace in the quiet moments. We do not need to chase the world or be hurried by the passage of time. We can simply rest, knowing that we are safe in the present moment. Feel the weight of your body sink further into the bed beneath you. You are supported, just as the Sphinx is supported by the earth. With each breath, allow yourself to relax even deeper. The world may continue, but you are here in the stillness at peace. You can let go of everything else, knowing that in this moment you are enough. Just as the Sphinx stands unmoving in the desert, you can rest unmoved, centered in the present. As the Sphinx watches the horizon, it does so without haste. It does not rush to see the sunrise or the sunset. It simply watches, in its own time, undisturbed by the world around it. There is a quiet power in that. In this world of constant motion, it is a rare thing to simply be, to simply watch. The Sphinx teaches us that stillness is not a lack of action, but the presence of peace. In your own life, you too can find peace in stillness. You do not need to chase after anything, you do not need to rush to the next moment. Just like the Sphinx, you can simply be in the present at rest. The wind blows softly across the desert, carrying the scent of the earth, the sand, and the distant memory of centuries gone by. The Sphinx remains, its gaze still fixed on the horizon. It does not ask for anything, it simply watches, enduring the slow march of time with grace. And in that endurance it finds peace. As you rest now, let that peace fill you. Let the quiet of the desert, the soft presence of the Sphinx, guide you into a deep and restful sleep. There is nothing to chase, nothing to rush, just rest. Let the stillness surround you like the desert surrounding the Sphinx. You are safe, you are peaceful, and you can let the world go for now. As the night deepens, imagine the Sphinx standing in its quiet vigil, unmoved by the passage of time. The vast desert around it stretches out into infinity, yet it remains still, unwavering, just as you remain in this moment at peace. The stars above shine gently, their light casting a soft glow across the desert. The cool breeze moves the sand in slow, steady waves, like the ebb and flow of time itself. Let the stillness of the Sphinx fill your mind. It has stood through the centuries, watching as everything else changes, yet in its stillness it endures. Time passes around it, but it does not rush forward. It simply observes. And as you lie here now resting, you too can observe. You do not need to chase after time. You do not need to move. You can simply be. As you rest, let the image of the Sphinx's quiet strength settle into your thoughts. It does not seek attention. It does not strive for greatness. It simply is standing in the desert, watching the world unfold. In its stillness, it holds the power of patience, the strength of endurance. Let that power fill you as you relax even deeper, knowing that you too can find peace in stillness. Feel your body sinking deeper into relaxation, the weight of the day slipping away as you breathe gently in and out. There is nothing to hold on to now. The Sphinx stands steadfast, watching the world, but it asks for nothing. It simply remains, grounded and calm, enduring the passing of time with grace. The desert, vast and quiet, holds a deep sense of peace. The Sphinx, though ancient, remains as it always has, unchanged by the centuries that have passed. Imagine the wind shifting the sand softly, like the ebb and flow of time. Yet the Sphinx does not move, it is steady, as you can be. The world may move around you, but in this moment you can remain. You do not need to rush forward, you can simply be still. Let the calmness of the desert fill you. The Sphinx stands beneath the endless sky, unmoved, untouched by the forces around it. Just like the Sphinx, you can remain steady, unshaken. Feel that steady peace flowing through you as you sink deeper into sleep. As you rest here, surrounded by the quiet of the night, let the image of the Sphinx become more and more vivid in your mind. It is not a monument to be admired in a rush. It is something to be experienced slowly, like the sands that shift around it, like the winds that move through the desert. The Sphinx does not chase after time, nor does it seek anything, it simply is. And in that being, it finds peace. Now, as your thoughts begin to fade, let go of anything you do not need. The world outside will continue, but here there is only peace. The Sphinx stands calm and unmoving, a reminder that stillness has its own power. You do not need to chase the world, you can rest, just as the Sphinx does. Feel your body relax even further, the weight of the day sinking away. The desert, vast and quiet, surrounds you. The Sphinx stands steady and strong beneath the endless sky. You are here, in this moment at rest, just as the Sphinx remains, unmoving. Beneath the stars, there is no need to hurry, no need to rush. Just breathe, just rest. Time will continue, but for now you are at peace. The Sphinx has shown you that it is okay to be still, to simply watch, to simply breathe. There is no need to chase anything, just rest. As you drift deeper into sleep, let the image of the Sphinx stay with you. Let it be a reminder that stillness, in its quiet strength, can bring peace. You do not need to rush through your life. You can be calm, steady, and unmoved like the Sphinx. There is nothing to fear in the stillness. You can rest here in the quiet and feel safe. Good night. Let the Sphinx's quiet strength guide you into a peaceful, restful sleep. You are safe. You are at peace. Just as the Sphinx watches over the land, you can rest, knowing that all is well. The desert is quiet now. The Sphinx stands unmoving, watching the stars above. The wind is gentle and the night is calm. Time continues, but there is no need to rush. Let the stillness wrap around you like the sands of the desert around the Sphinx. Rest now at peace in this moment of quiet. As you continue to rest, let the peace of the desert settle deeper into your mind. The Sphinx stands, watching the horizon, but it is not waiting for anything. It simply is, grounded in the earth, existing in harmony with the world around it. This quiet, unmoving presence, stretching through the centuries, is a reminder that we too can be steady, calm, and at rest. The world around you may be filled with noise, with movement, with all sorts of rushing and striving, but here, in this moment, there is nothing but stillness. The desert stretches out before you, vast and quiet, and the Sphinx remains unmoved by the passing time. Let the image of the Sphinx, standing in the cool desert night beneath a sky full of stars, remind you that it is okay to be still. It is okay to simply rest. With each gentle breath, you feel your body sinking deeper into relaxation, releasing any remaining tension. There is no rush. There is no need to move forward. Just as the Sphinx stands unmoving, so can you rest in this stillness. The world will continue its cycle, but for now, you are in this moment at peace. As the desert sands shift around you, imagine that you are not just in the desert, but that you are part of it. Part of the timeless landscape that has witnessed the rise and fall of so many things. You are grounded, just like the Sphinx, steady in the stillness. The Sphinx does not move. Yet, it has been witness to so much. It has seen countless sunrises, each one bringing a new day to the Giza plateau. It has watched as civilizations rose and fell, as kings and queens lived and passed. But through it all the Sphinx remained. It has not needed to rush to meet time, it simply stands observing unhurried. In the same way you can let go of any hurry or urgency. Time will continue, but you do not need to rush to meet it. Like the Sphinx, you can rest, calm and steady, allowing the world to pass by without feeling the need to chase after it. The peace you feel now in this quiet moment is a reminder that stillness has its own kind of power. The wind moves softly through the desert, carrying the scent of earth and sand. The Sphinx, standing at the heart of it all, remains unaffected by the changing winds, the shifting sands, or the passage of time. It has stood here unshaken for thousands of years, and it will stand for thousands more. Feel that same sense of unshakable stillness as you sink deeper into your rest. Let your body relax even more. There is nothing to chase. There is nothing to worry about. Just as the Sphinx has quietly observed the changing world, you can observe the quiet, allowing yourself to drift deeper into sleep. The night around you is calm, serene. The stars above shine gently and the air is cool. The Sphinx watches silently, unmoving like a sentinel of the desert. The world may continue to spin, but here in this moment you are part of something timeless, something peaceful. There is no need to rush, there is no need to act. Just as the Sphinx has waited patiently through centuries, you can rest in the quiet of the night. Time will pass, but in this space you are free to simply exist, to simply be. The Sphinx teaches us the value of patience, the importance of simply standing still, observing the world without feeling the need to rush. It has witnessed the ebb and flow of time, but it has not moved. It has not sought to change the world around it. It simply waits, and in that waiting it has endured. As you lie here breathing slowly, feel the weight of your body sinking deeper into the bed. Let the quiet of the desert, the stillness of the Sphinx, fill your thoughts. You are at peace. You do not need to move. You can simply rest, just as the Sphinx rests, enduring the passage of time without needing to rush. The night is quiet, the stars twinkling gently above. The Sphinx, still and unmoving, watches the world. But it does not rush, it does not chase after time, it simply is. Let that peaceful, steady presence fill you now, knowing that you too can be still. You can be grounded, you can rest. As you continue to rest, feel the soft embrace of the night wrapping around you. The Sphinx remains, ever watchful, ever still. The quiet of the desert deepens, and with each passing moment you find yourself drifting further into the stillness it offers. The winds move softly over the sands, but they do not disturb the Sphinx. The world shifts, but the Sphinx remains anchored in place, just as you are anchored in this moment of rest. The desert stretches out, vast and empty, but within that emptiness there is a profound peace. The Sphinx watches over it all, a reminder that even in the vastness of time and space, stillness is enough. Yet it doesn't need to do anything, it doesn't need to go anywhere, it simply exists. And in that existence there is power, there is peace. Feel your body relaxing even more as you breathe deeply. The weight of your body sinks deeper into the bed, much like the Sphinx is grounded in the earth beneath it. There is no rush here, no need to hurry. Everything can move at its own pace, and you can move at your own pace, drifting peacefully into sleep. Let go of any tension, any thoughts that may have lingered. Just breathe, just be. The Sphinx teaches us that we do not need to be in constant motion to feel significant. Its stillness holds its place in history and its presence endures. You too, in this quiet moment, are significant. You are enough simply as you are. Rest, knowing that time will continue around you, but here, in this stillness, you are at peace. As you continue to sink deeper into relaxation, imagine the desert surrounding you. The stillness is all-encompassing, and in that stillness, you are free. There is no need to chase anything. Just like the Sphinx, you can be present, grounded, and steady. Time will move, the world will change, but you remain, just as the Sphinx remains, unmoving and serene. The stars above shine softly, casting a gentle light across the desert. The Sphinx, steadfast in its place, watches over it all. It does not move, and it does not need to. It is at peace in its stillness. So too can you find peace in this moment. Let go of anything that might be keeping you awake. There is no need for anything more right now. Just rest. The winds, soft and steady, continue to move the sand across the vast desert. The Sphinx's gaze remains fixed, unwavering as it has for centuries. It doesn't strain to see, it simply watches calmly and without hurry. Time passes, yet the Sphinx remains unchanged. This stillness is not passive, it is a choice to simply exist without striving, without needing to act. You too can choose this stillness. You don't need to move forward right now. Just breathe. Just rest. The Sphinx stands as a reminder that there is strength in stillness. There is wisdom in waiting. You can rest now deeply and peacefully, in the same way the Sphinx has rested through the ages. As the night stretches on, feel yourself becoming even more relaxed. Every breath you take brings you deeper into calm. The world around you continues, but you are part of this stillness now, just as the Sphinx is part of the desert. The sands shift, the winds blow, but the Sphinx remains in its place, a quiet sentinel in the vast, peaceful landscape. Let your body grow heavier, your mind softer. The weight of your body is held just as the Sphinx is held by the earth. The world is distant now, and in its place there is only the quiet desert, the peaceful Sphinx, and you, resting, letting go, sinking into the stillness. Feel the embrace of the night as the Sphinx has felt it for thousands of years. The desert, vast and silent, is your companion now. The Sphinx does not seek attention, it simply watches. And so, in this moment, you do not need to do anything. You do not need to seek anything, just rest. Let the quiet of the desert, the soft presence of the Sphinx, and the steady rhythm of your breath carry you deeper into sleep. There is no need to chase the world. Just as the Sphinx has waited patiently for centuries, you too can wait in the peace of this moment, knowing that everything you need is here right now. The world will continue, but for now, there is only rest. Let it be enough. As the night stretches into its final hours, let yourself fall even deeper into the soothing rhythm of the desert. The Sphinx, ever still, continues to watch over the silent sands, its ancient form a quiet monument to endurance. In this moment there is no rush, no need to hurry. The desert remains vast, but it is peaceful, and you too can be at peace in the quiet of the night. The Sphinx's steady gaze fixed on the horizon is not one of anticipation. It is simply there, observing the world as it passes by. This peaceful observation is a choice to simply be present in the moment, to remain grounded without the need to act or rush. Just as the Sphinx has done for centuries, you can rest without the pressure of time. Feel the weight of your body being held by the bed, just as the Sphinx is held by the earth. The sand shifts, the winds blow, but it remains still. You too can remain still. There is no more need for thoughts, no more need for action. Simply rest. Allow the stillness to fill your mind and body, gently easing you into a deep, peaceful sleep. Imagine the desert stretching endlessly, quiet and untouched. The Sphinx stands, unmoving in the same spot it has stood for thousands of years. It is not concerned with the passing of time. It does not chase after the next moment. It simply remains, its presence calm and unchanging, as steady as the earth itself. This is the gift the Sphinx offers, a lesson in stillness, in quiet endurance. It teaches us that we don't need to move constantly, that we can be present without feeling the need to rush. Time flows, but it does not need to move us. Like the Sphinx, we can choose to remain grounded in the present moment, at peace with the world around us. As your body continues to relax, imagine yourself surrounded by the soft desert night. The air is cool and the quiet of the vast open land fills you with a sense of peace. You are part of the stillness, just as the Sphinx is. The world moves, the winds blow, but in this moment there is nothing more to do. No need to chase anything, no need to follow anything. Let yourself surrender to the quiet. There is nothing but the soft rustling of the wind, the distant stars, and the steady presence of the Sphinx. Allow the comfort of this peace to wash over you, filling your mind and body, gently pulling you into a deeper state of relaxation. The Sphinx's eternal watch continues, but you too can find peace in your own stillness. Just as the Sphinx watches without haste, you can let your thoughts drift away without rushing to hold on to them. The desert is vast, but in the quiet of this moment you are safe. You are part of this peaceful space. Time passes, but you are at rest. The Sphinx remains unmoved by the world around it, and you, in your own way, remain unmoved as well, peaceful, grounded, and at ease. As the final moments of the night unfold, feel the last bits of tension melt away. Your body is fully relaxed, sinking deeper into the comfort beneath you. The Sphinx continues its silent watch, just as it always has. But here in the peace of this moment you can rest. Let go of everything, let the world outside drift away as the wind softly carried the sands across the desert. You are safe just as the Sphinx is. You are grounded just as it is. And you can rest now without worry, without rush. Allow the stillness to guide you into a deep and peaceful sleep. The desert is quiet, the Sphinx is still, and all is well. Good night. Sleep well, knowing that you are just as steady, just as calm, and just as at peace as the Sphinx itself.